Well, we're familiar with green energy, green architecture, green living. What about green weddings? They are becoming increasingly popular. In fact, our next guest today calls them eco-chic, and she's founded a website focused on them called GreenBrideGuide.com. CEO Kate Harrison joins us on the program today. You had your own green wedding, didn't you?
I did in 2007.
I think many people think a wedding, it's a one-day event. I mean, how much of an ecological impact could it really have? I mean, what's the point of having a green wedding?
So every wedding produces between 400 and 600 pounds of garbage and 63 tons of CO2, which when you think about it, it's a lot in and of itself, but when we put them all together, all of the weddings in the United States every year are the same as 8 million cars on the road. So they just have a huge cumulative impact.
Yeah, they have become big business.
Yes.
And your website covers every aspect of a wedding, doesn't it?
Yeah, everything from the invitations all the way to the honeymoon and gift registry.
All right, and you have Ask Experts, you have blogs, you have calculators, you have honeymoon guides, tip of the week that we see right there. And mentioning a starter kit, I mean, you really kind of start off, obviously you're in the planning, but at the very beginning, there are invitations. And what kind of, I would guess that the waste of paper is what you see with invitations.
Yeah, well, and paper itself is not very ecologically sound. So it's bleached. Usually it's created from trees, which you think of as green, but the way that they're farmed reduces biodiversity. So we look for tree-free papers or the ones
right here that we can go back to this. These are not really paper, are they? Well, they are, but they're really wood.
No, these are wood. These are actually sustainably harvested wood. They're FSC certified. They're from Night Owl Paper Goods, which is a really wonderful company. And in addition to offering these really interesting and I think beautiful invitations made out of wood, we have matching wedding websites where you can, so they look just like the invitations, where you can put a lot of the information about travel and where your guests should stay.
Brides and grooms do that, don't they?
Yeah, so that cuts down on the amount of paper you need overall.
These two right here, this one right here, I love this because you said that there are seeds embedded in this.
Yep, so this is made actually out of hemp paper, so it doesn't use trees at all, and it's all handmade here in the US, and they have seeds so your guests can plant them and they become a garden, which I think
actually
is
a really nice idea. And this is a perfect example about how you have kind of an all-in-one piece, because usually with a wedding invitation there's a reply card and there's a directions card and it just goes on and on and on. This is kind of all in one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this is really clever. This is from Botanical Paperworks, and you can see the way that it's designed. It's both the invitation, the response card, and it all folds up and becomes its own envelope. So these are an inexpensive and I think very clever way to send your invite.
All right, you don't think about wedding favors as being that wasteful, but I guess they are.
Yes.
They're mostly a lot of junk.
Yeah, a lot of one-time use stuff.
Sorry, brides, but one-time use, that's a better way to look at it. All right, tell me about these.
So I really like this. These are from the Groovy Baker, and they're organic lollipops, and I just think they can double as a place card. So instead of these tags here, which say what the flavors are, you can actually have your guest's name on there, so it can be the table card, and it has double duty, right? The table card and then the take-home favor.
I can see where green would come in with the cake and the food. I mean, going organic, I guess, is one way you can do this.
Yeah, organic, local, and seasonal. Those are sort of the three things we try to focus on for food, which brides spend over half their budget on food, so it's a really important thing to go green with if you can.
All right, so the cakes, is there anything in particular? This is your book, which I think you also have written.
Yeah, I love this.
Green Bride Guide book. But these cakes, should you ask for when you're working with a particular vendor? Is there anything to ask for?
Yeah, so these are from Isabella's Creations, and I think generally choosing a baker who understands what it means to go green, so who is going to use organic eggs, organic flour, organic milk. These are really simple substitutions. Really, any baker should be able to do, but a lot of bakers don't. And then choosing something like these are edible flowers on top that are made out of sugar. So you can use, instead of a disposable top, again, it's one more thing that you can do to go green.
Here's the question. It sounds like it would be a more expensive way to go. Can you save money by going green in your wedding?
You can, and we spend a lot of time on the website and in the book on how to do that. You can save up to 40% off the cost of your wedding by going green. And the example I give is from my own wedding. We used local flowers. So brides on average spent about $2,000 on flowers. that are often imported from overseas and doused in pesticides. You know, there's a lot of problems with flowers, but we use local organic hydrangeas and dahlias, and we spent $200 on our flowers.
Very nice. Kate, great ideas. It's GreenBrideGuide.com, and there's also a book. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
And that's all for this week. We'll see you next week on 12 on the Money. I'm Rebecca Saran.